Hello, my beautiful people. In this episode, we are going to be talking about significant figures, also known as sig figs. Just a little shorthand there for you guys. Okay, so with significant figures, there are a fair bit of rules that you need to follow in order to get the correct amount of significant figures and decimal places. So the first rule is the most basic, simplest rule that you will face when dealing with significant figures. So the first rule is that every non-zero value, is significant. That's a tick if you can't tell. This is a tick anyway. So for example, if we have 1, 7, 2, none of these are zeros, which means they are all significant. Therefore, we have 3 significant figures. That one's nice and simple. That's probably the easiest part about significant figures, is always when you have a non-zero value, it will be significant no matter what. Okay, the next rule that we have is that any zero that is in between 2 significant figures, so example, a non-zero value, will always be significant. Here's a little example. So we have 6, 0, 1. The 0 is in between a 6 and a 1, which are both significant figures, therefore making the 0 significant. So it's nice and happy because it's significant in our lives. So that would mean that we have 3 significant figures. 3. Another little example, say we have 7, 0, 3, for example. They're all significant because the 0 is in between 2 non-zero values. Nice and easy. Okay, the next rule that we need to know when it comes to significant figures is that every single 0 to the right, so that's this way. If you do your L's and your L's, that's this way. So every single value to the right of a significant figure, every single 0, to the right of a significant figure is never significant unless there is a decimal. Here's an example for you. Say we have 500, 5,000, 50,000. So in all of these cases, the 5 is significant, okay? Now, to the right of the 5, all of these 5s in this scenario, we have a bunch of zeros. So these are called trailing zeros, okay? So none of these are significant, literally none of them. We can get rid of all of those. That means we only have one significant figure in every single one of these cases because of the trailing zeros. Another example of this, just so you guys can see, not too far. Say we have 70, only the 7 is significant. Say we have 700, only the 7 is significant. You get what I'm saying. Any 0 past the non-zero value is always insignificant. If we were to do 70.00, right? Everything here is significant. So why is everything significant in this? That's because of the decimal. The decimal is kind of like this little magical thing that just loves incorporating all the trailing zeros and all the zeros essentially. So every single number within this number is significant. Therefore, we have 4 significant figures. However, if we were to take away that decimal and we just had 7,000, it would be only the 7 that's significant. The decimal just likes incorporating everybody together. This also counts for if you have like 50.4. Everything's significant. Everything because of that little decimal. Okay, now the next thing that we need to talk about is the zeros that lead a number. For example, if we have 0.073. Okay? So here we have a thing called leading zeros. So leading zeros are essentially the zeros that appear before the first non-zero value does, which in this case is the 7. So we have 1 and we have 2 leading zeros. Therefore, they are not significant. They are just not significant in this case whatsoever. That means that the 7 and the 3 are significant, leaving us with 2 significant figures. Now this works whenever there are any leading zeros. There could be 0.0000000 forever, and then we have 7, 3. Again, only the 7 and the 3 are significant because these are all leading zeros, so they can just get out of here. Okay. Okay, I think that just about covers all the rules. So now let's go into some little practice questions for you guys. Practices for you guys to do. Feel free to pause the video if you would like. So we have 100. We have 1, 2, 3, 0. We have 47. We have 409. And we have 0.023. Okay, so let's do these ones together. So, because there is no decimal point in this first one, all of the zeros are insignificant. So we can get rid of them, leaving the 1, meaning we have 1 sig fig. Okay, the next one. We have 1, 2, 3, and a 0. So again, because there is no decimal, we have no decimal place. We have 1, 2, 3, 3 significant figures because the 0 is not significant unless there is a decimal point somewhere in the number. Okay, the next one. We have 47. This one's nice and simple. They're both non-zero values, which means they are both significant. So 2 significant figures. Okay, we have 409. This one, we know in the second rule that I explained, any 0 in between 2 non-zero values are significant. Therefore, we have 3 significant figures, the 4, the 0, and the 9. Now the last one, I'll just change my pen color. Change it for you guys. There we go. So with this one, we have 2 leading zeros. We know from the last rule that leading zeros are never significant. So we can just cross them out. We don't even want them. Now we have a 2 and a 3, which are both non-zero values, meaning they are both significant, leaving us with 2 significant figures. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I hope that you got them all correct. If you did, good job. Now we're going to do one big number so that, well, it's a small number because it's got zeros in front of it, but it's got a lot of numbers within it. So we'll do 0.00607. Okay, so here we have 3 leading zeros. There's 3 of them because there's 3 zeros before there is a non-zero value. So all of these are insignificant and they're not significant because they're leading zeros. So we can get rid of them. Now over here, we have a 6, which is a non-zero value, which means it's always significant. And we have a 7, again, same as the 6, always significant. And we have a 0 in between the 6 and the 7, which are significant figures. So any 0 in between 2 significant figures is significant. Therefore, we have 3 significant figures. Perfect. Nice and simple when you break it all down. Hope that makes sense for you guys. That is the end of our lesson on significant figures. Hopefully, you all understand a bit more about significant figures. If not, let me know and I'm happy to do another video for you guys going through some more examples. But yeah, perfect. Thanks so much for watching.